Good afternoon, good day, good people. Thank you all so much for joining me today for today's workshop. We are going to be focusing on career milestone one, which is going to seek you clarity on how to create a career goal. All right. So my name is Allison Townsell. My partner in crime, Christy, is unavailable to join us today, but we do send some positive energy her way and hope to see her in the next session, of course. My name is Allison. I'm here in the Career and Professional Development Center. And for the next few moments, we will be exploring the career goal resources that we have created for you all to explore. Okay. Today's topic will be about a SMART goal, creating a SMART goal, and how we can set yourself up for success during your academic journey and beyond. And so let's go ahead and get started with some ground rules and some rules of engagement. Please know that this meeting is being recorded and will be shared after this session is over in a follow-up email. So if you need to move around, breathe, stretch, shake, let things go ahead and do so. You will be able to gain access to this information within the next few moments, okay? Now, there will be some polls and some questions that you can enter into the chat because we will not be monitoring the Q&A panel for this workshop. So if you have any questions, comments, or even some concerns that you may have as I discuss some of the topics here, put them in the chat. I do have eyes on that, and so we can definitely engage accordingly. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about our agenda for today, or at least the objectives, right? So we're going to first talk about what those 7 career milestones are. We'll explain the importance of using a well-informed career goal, and then we'll really dive into what milestone one's resources are, okay? We're going to have a student example where we can actually put some of this information into practice. And then if you have any questions at the end, we'll definitely open up the floor for discussion. All right, so let's watch this quick video so that we can get some perspective.
At WGU, we understand that many students pursue higher education to secure a fulfilling career. That's why we're committed to providing more than just an education. We offer pathways
Oh no.
to real opportunities, preparing you for long-term success in today's competitive job market. We've identified 7 milestones that will propel you toward your career goals. And our career and professional development team is here to assist you every step of the way. It all starts with Milestone 1, where you'll define a SMART career goal that will set the foundation for your career journey. Next, create a clear path to your goal by developing a career plan in Milestone 2. Think of it as your career GPS. Milestone 3 helps you gain real-world experience through internships, online simulations, and more. Then, use the skills you learn in Milestone 4 to build and nurture meaningful connections with peers, faculty, and professionals that pave the way for lifelong career advancement. Milestone 5 will teach you to craft a unique professional identity and create career assets that demonstrate your skills and experiences, showcasing your brand. In Milestone 6, celebrate you and all you've accomplished. Through hard work and targeted action, you achieved your goal. Finally, Milestone 7 offers a chance to reassess your career trajectory by completing a career wellness check, empowering you to take ownership of your ongoing professional journey. Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Take control of your success story and start your unique path towards a rewarding career by achieving WGU career milestones.
All right. And so those career milestones are listed here. Um, the first one is identifying the career goal, which is what we're going to focus on today. And if you continue to go through these career milestones, you'll actually notice that you're doing these things as an enrolled student as well. And for those of you who are joining who are alumni, welcome back. to our time here together. And know that you can always go through this cycle more than one time. I mean, think about it. When you decided to join WGU, you had the goal to graduate. And so this is the process of which you're setting yourself up to not only graduate, but move with intention. And so when we think about the career goal itself, know that about 61% of students say that they're enrolled in a higher education to pursue a more fulfilling career. Okay, so think about it this way: your path to career success starts with a well-informed goal. Think about your journeys even outside of school, right? You want to go to the grocery store, you want to go to the mall, you want to go shopping, or even go to an event. You have a destination and you have an intention for what that particular event looks like. Same thing applies to your career journey. Okay, your goal is your destination. And as long as you know what you want to do or where you want to end up, then the steps that you take to reach that goal will create the experience in your career journey. Okay, so I want to take a quick moment in the chat. Okay, we won't necessarily use the Slido app, but in the chat, I want you to help me by giving me some information, right? What is your primary reason for coming to WGU to pursue a degree? Right? Is it just professional development? Is it because you're changing careers? Is it because you just got curious and you just wanted to know some more information about a different industry? Give me some insight. Tell me in the chat, what is your primary reason for pursuing a degree here at WGU? I'll take a few moments because I told you I'm looking at the chat. Oh, okay. So we see some changing careers from social services to accounting. Okay, well, welcome and thank you for joining us today. I see some pivoting, right? Anyone pivoting to finance? That they're trying to see if there's anyone in the chat. I'm already seeing some LinkedIn accounts being dropped in, which is a wonderful opportunity at this time. All right, so I see some more information in the chat to be more employable along with changing careers. So we have a lot of career changers and career pivoters in today's session, which is a wonderful opportunity to talk about what it means to set a career goal. Okay, we'll be looking into grad school after bachelor's. Okay, well, listen, WGU does offer master's degrees, so come on back. All right, stick around the nest. We might be able to find something for you. All right. Well, I'm glad that you all are putting some intention behind your degree. It's not just because you're bored or you just need something to do. No, I hear there's intention, right? We're pivoting from certain careers. We're interested and curious to become more employable, and setting a career goal will help you do just that. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, now, did you know that you are 33 to 42% more likely to achieve your goal if you write them down, share them, and provide regular updates? In other words, as long as you are setting a goal, tell people about it. Share with your network and let them know, hey, this is what I'm working on, and I need some help to reach this goal. Is there any information you can share with me? Or as you're going through your courses, you're starting to develop the skills that you're needing in order to become employable for those of you who are interested in that as your goal as well. So, as we go through today's session, definitely think about ways in which you can write them down and share them with your network so that you can increase the likelihood of achieving these particular goals. All right. So when we think about what it means to set a goal, you might be wondering, how does setting a goal benefit you? Well, it gives you a sense of purpose and direction, right? It's one thing to say, I want to go to the store, but if you have a grocery list or at least an itemized list of what you want to achieve once you get to this store, then that gives you purpose and it gives you direction. And you're not just in the store like wandering through IKEA and escape rooms, okay? Contributes to your career success and improves the likelihood of completing your degree. So, if you think about why you are joining WGU to pursue your degree, that's one reason. But if you are planning to do something with this degree, like obtain a particular position or gain specific experience or increase your industry knowledge, that increases the likelihood of you attaining and completing this degree. Enhanced career readiness, increased career satisfaction, because now you feel confident, now you feel prepared because you've done all that you could to not only set the goal, meet the goal, but you've also beat that goal because you might end up doing so in a shorter time period than you originally intended, as long as you have purpose and intention behind your goals. Because it also improves your performance and your productivity. So it helps you stay focused. Once you set a goal, it does help you stay focused. And so now we can transition into the process for setting a career goal. Okay. Now, there are some methods that we can include on our site. And in fact, I'm going to drop the link to our career milestone page and also include career milestone one specifically, so that as you all explore the link itself, then you can also explore Career Milestone 1. We'll talk about what's available to you in a moment, but I do want to go through the process of how to set that particular goal. All right, so let me go ahead and drop that link in the chat. All right, so setting how to set that goal. The first thing you want to do is identify your values and your needs. What is it that you're looking for? And get down to the specifics of it all. Are we looking for remote jobs? Are we looking for something that's in person or hybrid? Are there specific benefit packages that you all are seeking? Is there a compensation salary that seems ideal for this particular role? If so, do you have the skill set and experience to meet that salary requirement? So then we need to look at the traits that we have, right? That's what's in step 2. Identify what makes you marketable, what makes you unique, and identify the occupations that will be able to take that information or at least improve it as you gain experience. You also want to explore occupations. So it's one thing to set a goal, but see what's available, right? What is the industry currently having so that you could decide if you want to pursue something that exists or create space for something new. You want to also learn about what it means to create a SMART goal. And as you can see, it is capitalized, which means we're going to talk about what it means to create a SMART goal. And that's what step 5 is to actually make it happen. All right, and set that goal so that it can be all that you need for you to gain that traction, that momentum, and reach the goal itself. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause. Are there any questions so far? In the meantime, I am going to uh, share a different screen so that we can explore the site together, and then we'll come back and talk about our friend Vicky. All right, so far so good. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. I'm going to stop sharing. Mm, I think I am. Yep, there we go. I'm going to stop sharing that for a moment, and then let's get into the website itself. All right, so if you all are following along, there is a link that's in the chat that takes you directly to Career Milestone 1. But for the sake of this recording, I'm going to also share with you how to access the other milestones as well. So when you go onto our website, that's careers.wgu.edu, you will see the homepage. And on this first tab, you'll see Career Milestones. And you'll know you're at the right place if you see a little car with a map. That's how you know you're on the right track. And the reason being is because these milestones are actually your roadmap to career success. As you go through this process, whether it's enrolling at WGU or even after you graduate, this is going to be a fluctuating process. It's continuous, which means that there is no beginning or end. It's going to be a continuous cycle as long as you continue to set goals for yourself. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is identifying a career goal. Once that goal is established, then you can create a plan. And in that plan, if you identify that you've completed a gap analysis, you need some experience, then you'll move into step 3, which gives you some opportunities to explore experiential learning. Once you gain that experience, you want to also talk about it with your network. So start to investigate and conduct some interviews with those in your network to see, well, what is the industry seeking at this time? That way, when you're ready to create your professional assets, like your resume and your cover letter, that's at milestone 5, you'll be able to show what you know. That way, when you get to apply for different jobs, you can now say that you have this degree, you have this experience, and you're looking for opportunities to show what you know. That way, when you have attained or you've reached that particular goal, you can celebrate yourself, but also decide if you want to maintain where you are or advance or move into something different. So this is a continuous cycle, and know that at any point during this journey, if you have any questions, the Career and Professional Development Center is available to assist. Okay, so this is the page for the milestones, but we're going to focus on the first one. Okay, now identifying the career goal. For those of you who are just joining our WGU family, your current goal just very well may be completing the degree. and that is perfectly fine. For those of you who are more advanced in your degree program and you're looking at, completing it in the near future, then your career goal is not only to complete it, but to now look for some opportunities to apply what you've learned. And in any case, know that you have some steps and some resources for you to experience that. So, like I said, the first step was to identify your needs. We're going to talk about this self assessment and career pathways worksheet. Once you identify those needs, then you want to identify where your traits match. So, Pathway U is a platform that is already embedded in your tuition. So, you don't have to re register or pay for anything new. You'll just use your WGU credentials to sign in. You'll complete 4 assessments. They're going to evaluate and assess your values, your interests, your personality, and your work style or your workplace preferences. Summarize it in a list of subject areas that you strongly match with. And if you dive into those subject areas, it's going to give you some more information about some career matches that you strongly match with, as well as those that you don't necessarily strongly match with, but they are informative to tell you, well, what else is available to you based on what you've shared in the assessments. And once you complete that second step, you can always go back to that worksheet, include that information to help you set a sound, smart goal. And then that last step is when we actually put, the pedal to the metal and we start to identify some ways in which we can declare what that SMART goal is going to be. Now, we've provided some resources for you. Right? We're going to take some time to dive into the worksheet in this particular session. But if you want something that's a little more quick or faster for you to evaluate or at least assess what your needs are and how to set your SMART goal, we do have an AI quick guide so that if you are interested in optimizing AI to help you with your career journey, there are some prompts as well as some additional questions that you can use that's within this SMART guide. Okay, so let's talk about what this worksheet may look like. Know that this is a guided walkthrough. It may take you between 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even more if you're having some issues or some challenges finding the language on what to include. No worries, there's no deadline to this. However, the sooner you are able to set that goal, the more likely you are able to apply it in terms of productivity and performance. Okay. Now, know that this is something that you are going to do. You're going to put and make this personal. This is not a goal that your friend may have suggested to you or a goal that your family may have put on you or projected. This is something that you want to do. Make it personal, make it thoughtful, and think deeply about what this goal may mean to you. Okay? And then once you all identify what those steps are, then we'll go ahead and move forward into the rest of the milestones, which is to create a plan of action. But let's go ahead and talk about this first worksheet. So if you click on the link, it's going to first give you some information about what a SMART goal is. So I remember asking you all if you were aware of the SMART goal being capitalized when I was sharing my presentation. Well, this is an acronym, right? A SMART goal has 5 elements. A SMART goal is specific, so it clearly states what you want to do. A career goal is also measurable, which means you want to make sure that you put some steps in place and track your progress. Make it a checklist if you have to, but setting some parameters as to what it will take for this goal to be reached, that's what makes it measurable. Make it realistic, right? You want to make sure that as you're achieving these goals, that you feel some sense of confidence as you proceed. So you want to make sure that your goals are realistic and you want to use the resources that you have access to. Then you want to make it relevant. So connect it to your long-term career interests, whether it may be you becoming the CEO of a company or owning your own business. There are some goals that would need to happen before you get to that point. What are those steps going to look like? And you can create those steps when you get to career milestone 2. But you still want to make sure that it's realistic and make it personal. And then last but not least, put a timeline to it so that you can stay focused and you can put some intention behind your actions. All right, so this is what the acronym of a SMART goal is. We're going to take a moment to open up the worksheet itself so that we can take our time as we go through the worksheet. But before we do any of that, I do want to introduce you all to somebody. All right, it's a friend of ours. Her name is Vicky. And Vicky has some things that she wants to share with you. Okay. But before we do any of that, um, I just want to take another pause. Are there any questions about accessing the Career Milestone One resources or at least understanding the elements of a SMART goal? All right. Seeing none, I am going to go back to our slideshow. All right. All right. So going back to our slideshow. If oh, I gotta stop sharing this first. Hello. Here we go. And I'm looking at two different screens, so I appreciate your patience as we sift through cyberspace. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not it. Alrighty. I believe that's it. Yep, there we go. Now we're back. All right, so we talked about what the steps were for setting this goal. We talked about what the elements of a SMART goal are. So now let's get into what it means to actually apply this in real time. All right, so here is our friend Vicky. And Vicky is a special friend of ours because she's currently enrolled at WGU, just like some of you. So she's currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in HR management. She has some work experience, right? So she's been working as a restaurant shift supervisor and manager for the past 5 years. So she has some experience. She's managed staff schedules. She's worked with customer conflicts. She's handled the training. So she has some experience as a restaurant shift manager. But she also has some experience as a server. So she's been in hospitality for some time. She spent about 8 years in high volume restaurants. So, I mean, it's a popular place, right? They want to come for the food, but they also come for the service. She builds customer service and time management and communication, and that's what she's experienced in. But at this time in her life, she has some career aspirations, right? She wants to navigate career uncertainty as she transitions out of the restaurant industry. So think about it. This is a friend who's been working for a very long time. She decided to get to WGU to pursue a master in HR management, and now she's trying to transition out of a restaurant industry and into a general management industry. So she sees potential in HR, but she's unsure about what her career goals should be or where she should seek her clarity. And so she hopes to learn more about herself as she explores these HR roles. And so, as we go through the process of setting a goal, there is some introspection that will take place. You're going to understand yourself a little better because now you're thinking about what is motivating you, what do you value, and what is important for you in this season of your particular career. And so, in the case of Vicky, right, we're going to continue to work with her and talk about what this worksheet may look like. Okay, all right. And so in the chat, I want to explore a few things, right? If we know that a SMART goal is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound, in the chat, give me some elements that would be considered part of Vicky's SMART goal. I'm gonna go back to the other slides so that we can have something to reference. But in the chat, share with me your thoughts about what her specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound goal could be based on her current experience and her career aspirations. I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, so we have some information in the chat. Thank you all so much for your engagement. I see some time-bound elements, right? Completing the bachelor's degree within 24 months. That's a timeline, right? And it's specific because we want to complete the degree. right? So she's already enrolled. We have something specific. She's getting her education. Um, what are some other elements that you all can share with me in the chat? And then I'll pull up the worksheet and we can talk about it together. All right. Let me see if you all. All right. I see some more comments in the chat to obtain a bachelor in HR management by whatever deadline she sets and to move into more HR focused roles within the next 12 months. So seeking experience. I see what's going on in the chat. Y'all are really tuning in and I appreciate your engagement. All right. So for the sake of time, let's talk about Vicky and let's connect with her and see what it is that we need to do or what it is that Vicky needs to do to set and manage her goal. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so that we all can see. All right, so on the career SMART goal or the SMART career goal worksheet that you'll see on our website, this is the example, right? This is the skeleton of what that worksheet looks like. It'll have some instructions at the top. And you can always download this and revisit this as often as you feel necessary. But if you are still curious about what a SMART goal is or you need some additional information, we do provide a link to a video for you to explore and to hear what those elements look like in a different way. Okay? All right, so let's talk about Vicky, right? So remember when we talked about it being specific, right? We talked about what it means to make it specific, right? Think about what job you want and think about what industry or company that job will be connected to. So in the case of Vicky, she was in the restaurant not ministry, sorry y'all. She was in the restaurant industry and she's looking to get out of that, but looking into more HR management roles. And so her specific goal is she wants to be an HR manager at a hotel in Seattle, like Hilton Seattle or Marriott Waterfront, or a local resort group. So that's specific. Not only is she looking for a specific role, but she's also connecting it to specific companies. Okay. Measurable. How will she track her progress as she works to this goal? So remember, she's enrolled in school. She has a goal, a career goal to be in HR management at a hotel, specifically in Seattle. So her measurable elements would be I'll take 3 to 4 classes a term so that she can finish within a year and a half. So I know someone mentioned 24 months. She might have broke that down to 18. Nonetheless, it's still a timeline. Okay. And know that that timeline can be flexible. Okay. I want to assure you and validate you that whatever goal you set, if you stay focused, the timeline may not matter as long as you stay focused on your goal. But if you set a timeline, you want to work to make sure that you stay on time, on track with the goal that you set for yourself. And then she also includes in her measurable element that she'll check her progress monthly and meet with her WGU mentor every 2 weeks. Now, when I was a program mentor here at WGU, some of my students met with me weekly, and that is perfectly fine as well. That's the beautiful part about WGU. They're able to give you a flexible schedule to meet you where you are. And so if you have questions about what that process may look like, connect with your community of care so that the measurements of what your goal may look like you can take the impossible and make it doable. Okay. So now let's talk about achievable. So now that we have a method of tracking, how will she know that it is achievable? You think about the realistic steps that you would need to take. So that includes some research. It's one thing to say you want to be the HR manager, but you got to do some research about what is required for that particular goal to be attained. And so in the case of Vicky, she wants to earn her SHRM CP certification. She wants to complete an internship or project with her current employer and network with at least 5 HR professionals in Seattle's hospitality industry. And so you're probably thinking about, well, how in the world are we going to do all of that? Well, you do some research. What are the requirements for a SHRM CP certification? Is it a test? Is it a class? Is it some information or a podcast that you need to know about? No, there are some requirements for you to earn that certification. You have to be aware of that so that you know that's part of the steps to reach the goal. Complete an internship or project. I know someone put that in the chat to seek out internships while she's enrolled in the program so that she can apply what she's learning in real time. And that's going to help you gain experience because it's one thing to read something, but it's another thing to take that information and do something with it. And so finding internships or completing projects could very well be that space where she knows that she's working to achieve this goal. Now, in this particular example, Vicky states that she wants to work with her current employer. As far as experiences are concerned, some individuals may not be able to have a different job opportunity, right? You may not be able to carve out some additional time in your already packed schedule. So we might have to use this time to be a little creative on how we can get this experience. And if you're working with an employer, speak with your manager and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm looking to complete. Are there elements or are there ways that I can gain some experience while I'm currently enrolled? That way you're gaining the experience, but not necessarily putting any restraints on your time and your availability. Okay. Now, she also includes in this achievable goal to network with at least 5 professionals in Seattle's hospitality ministry or industry. Maybe it is a ministry to some people, but the industry itself. And you're probably wondering, well, how do you network? Well, on our site, we do have some information about how to nurture your network. Some of the events that we have during our career quest are focused on how to build your network and support your journey by connecting with those who are connected to you. But you may have to also attend some events, and you may have to look into the alumni network of WGU who may already be in the hospitality industry. And so there are some links that I will share in our follow-up email that will help you make these goals achievable in the lens of using your network. Okay? And so I'm going to take a pause and think with you all about ways to make this relevant. All right, so remember, Vicky is currently enrolled. She has about 13 years of restaurant industry um, experience. But why is it important for her to go into the field of HR management? Why do you think this is a goal that's important to her? Put it in the chat. Give me your thoughts. Yep, and this may be something that you all need to take some time for yourselves and think about. Why is this important to you? And go through that root cause analysis and see, well, what is motivating you to set that goal in the first place? Was there an experience that you had that you were inspired by? Was there an event that you attended that you're like, this is missing, and I think I can bring some energy into this space? Um, why is this important to you? And include that in your SMART goal. Right, so I'm going to go to the chat and see what responses we have. And I see that we have some engagement. Hey. All right. So why is this goal important to Vicky? A response is to have the ability to increase the salary and not have such a physical demand on her body to earn a living. I like that. I love that. Getting a goal set can help it make it real to you. And so for Vicky, she's been working in the industry of restaurant work for 13 years. That's a long time to be dedicated to something. You can imagine how tired her body is. But if getting into HR management will help her not only relieve some of that stress on her body, but also increase that salary so that she can still feel that her work life is balanced, then that is something that's important to her. And it may be important to you. Okay. So understand and validate yourself and know that once you set a goal that's important to you, that's what's going to keep you motivated to achieve that goal. Okay. All right, we have some more love in the chat. It says it seems like she wants to move forward from being in a customer facing role to working with coworkers and helping them achieve their goals. That's a good perspective. I love that. It's one thing to say that I've been in this restaurant industry for a long time. She's also done the training, right? She's helped train others in that particular position, but now she wants to train the trainer, right? She wants to increase her ability to give back to society. Um, All right, in the chat, we still got some more responses of why this particular goal is important to Vicky. And it looks like she did an assessment. She did a self-assessment, which is one of those things we talked about with Pathway U. And so she discovered that the HR management career aligns with the most with her skills, her strengths, and her future goals. And that is a great observation. And I'm glad that that was something that was shared in the chat. Because as long as you take the time to really assess what motivates you, then you'll start to discover, wait, I have some strengths, I have some skills, and I know what to do sometimes. And that can give you that validation so that as you achieve these goals, that's what's going to motivate you. That's what's going to fuel you to reach the goals because it's already in you. You just have to find the environment to pull it out, nurture it, and excel accordingly. Thank y'all so much for your information and your engagement in the chat as we talk about Vicky and her SMART goal. And so we've talked about the specifics, we've made it measurable, we've made it achievable, we've talked about why this is important and made it relevant to her. So now let's talk about the time, right? Putting a deadline to your goals helps you stay. Mic check. Are we still connected? Hello, hello. Can you all hear me? Okay, awesome. Thank y'all for sticking around. Technology decided to kick me out of WebEx for a quick moment, but here we are, still connected. I appreciate your patience. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. Yep, that's right. We are back. I appreciate your time. All right, so we were talking about Vicky and getting into the timeline of her particular goal. Okay. And so we talked about all the elements that led up to it, the S, the M, the A, and the R. So now let's talk about the time bound. When do you want to reach your goal? I know it's one thing to say that I want to enroll at WGU, but you all may have some term goals, right? You want to get some things done, whether you're accelerating or going through the process of using your time wisely. Time is important, it's precious. And so you want to put some intention into the time that you take to set this goal. And so for Vicky, when does she want to achieve this goal? She wants to become an HR manager in Seattle, in a Seattle hotel, or result within 2 years. So if she's working to finish her degree program in 1.5 years, then she's going to spend the second half of that year to apply for jobs so that she can reach this goal within 2 years. And she makes it even more specific by saying that she'll start to apply for jobs 6 months before she graduates. And it's possible for you all to do that as you explore internships and different micro internships and simulations and projects that you all experience. Because the connections that you make with the companies that you do these experiences with could very well be the same companies that you inquire about some full time or part time occupational opportunities. So, setting a timeline will also keep you motivated and keep you on track to think strategically about how to reach these goals. All right, so here's the final statement about what you want to do. You can take this and um, put all of these experiences into one statement, um, or you can very well leave it in this broken down space so you can kind of check it off as you go. But this is the worksheet itself. Okay, this is the worksheet. So I'm going to stop sharing this, but also share us. Go back to our PowerPoint, right? So that we can wrap up today's session. We've talked about Vicky, we've talked about SMART goals, we've gone through the process of using that worksheet. And so let's talk about what these next steps may look like. All right, so oh no. No, we did that part. All right. So Pathway U is another is the place for you to do the assessments. I think I shared that in the chat, but like I said, I'll also share it in the follow-up email as well. And know that Pathway U is something that you can continuously complete. It's not a one and done platform. So you can continue to take the assessments as you go through your program, as you assess the career goals that you have. If you decide you want to pivot, go back and answer those questions again because your motivations may differ and you may end up with a different list of career matches, and that is perfectly fine as well. All right.
Welcome to this tutorial on using Pathway U, a powerful
Um, were you all able to hear that in the chat? I just need a thumbs up before WebEx kicks me out again. All right, cool. So I'll play the demonstration for Pathway U, and then we'll wrap this up in a moment.
career exploration tool available to WGU students and alumni. Today we'll walk through creating your account, taking the 4 assessments, and researching career options. Let's get started. First, open your web browser and go to wgu.pathwayu.com. You'll see the WGU branded Pathway U login page. Click on the Join Now button to create your account. Enter your WGU email address and create a password. Make sure to use your official WGU email to access all features. Once you've filled in,
Oh no. Come on, technology.
make sure to use your official WGU email to access all features. Once you've filled in your information, click Find Your Calling to complete the registration process.
WGU's Pathway U is a program designed to help you explore career directions. After you create an account and log in, the program will automatically take you to this My Journey page, which will help you navigate through the steps of the program. First, you'll take 4 assessments that will help identify your top career traits. After completing those assessments based on your interests, values, personality, and workplace preferences, you'll get results displayed on a page like this. Notice there are some reflection questions and additional assistance to help you if you need more support. Next, you can go to explore the career matches that most align with your results. They'll be displayed first by subject, which gives you an opportunity to explore careers that are related to that particular subject. You'll be able to explore detailed information about those roles, including salaries and actual job postings that are live. This program is connected to Handshake, so you'll be able to immediately search for opportunities that align with your interests.
That concludes our tutorial on using Pathway U. Remember, this tool is designed to help you explore and discover career options that align with your interests and values. It's a great starting point for examining career opportunities. Thank you for watching and best of luck in your career exploration journey.
Awesome. Shout out to the
Welcome to this
team.
tutorial.
All right, so this is the end of today's session. We discussed a lot in this session today. We started out by exploring the resources that are available in our Career Milestone page, specifically about Career Milestone 1, which is helping you identify a career goal. Then we discussed what those elements are for completing that process of setting that goal. We talked about the elements of a SMART goal, making sure that it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. And once you reach that goal, I hope you all understand that that is a definite moment for you to celebrate your success. All right. So before we skedaddle, I do want to ask, as you think about what your goals are, what are some of the biggest challenges you all have been facing as you work towards these goals? And we can have a moment to discuss those barriers at this time so that we can also do some resource management, if you will. All right, what are some of the biggest challenges that you all have? All right, I'm seeing some engagement in the chat, and imposter syndrome comes up first. Holy fireballs. Oh, and we're getting some reactions to that same comment. So just know that you're not alone, my friend. Okay. All right. Staying hopeful, staying on track, and navigating the changes for the desired result. So being fluid, that's definitely a thing. So being So imposter syndrome was one of the first comments that came up, and then navigating the changes of a particular market. So think about our economy, think about our current state in policy and society, and things are changing rapidly. Setting a goal will help you know if you're on track, right? Or if we need to make some pivots so that we can find some relatable experience to still reach your goal. Remember, sometimes it may feel impossible, but setting a goal will help the impossible become doable. It's possible. You just got to find the ways in which you can use the resources to navigate those changes. And setting a goal also addresses imposter syndrome because it's one thing to say, I want to become an HR manager, and I know exactly what needs to be done. And then on the flip side, say, I'm not even sure if I'm qualified. Well, the assessment said that you are. You got enrolled, you were accepted, you registered, and you got started in your courses. And so it's already showing you that you are on track to success. Keeping yourself encouraged is one of those elements that will help you reach that goal. And if there are ever any moments where you feel that your goal may be too broad, then go through the process of setting that goal so that you can make it specific and measurable. You can feel like this is a goal that can be achievable and realistic and relatable to you, and then adjust your time. Right? Some may have some aggressive timelines and say, I want to get this done in 6 months. Well, the timeline for you to get certified may take a little longer than that. And so you have to be able to be flexible depending on what your goals are, but know that that flexibility could very well provide some additional opportunities to gain some experience that could be valuable to you in the future. All right. Now, we also do have some videos on our YouTube channel that are specific about imposter syndrome. I will be mindful to include some links to that in the follow-up email for those of you who registered for this event. But you can also explore our YouTube site for those of you who are joining at a later time. All right. Being accepted for entry level positions with supervisory level experience in a different industry. Ah, my friend, what I heard was, I need help with transferable skill. And it's possible for you to pivot while also addressing some of the things that you've learned and bringing those qualifications into your next role. So you may not necessarily be looking for entry level positions and starting at ground zero. You may be able to take that experience from your past, whether it was in management or in leadership, and you can still bring that energy and bring those lessons with you as you apply for these new positions in this new industry. So think about the ways in which your goal is relevant to you in this particular time in your career journey, and know that everything that you've experienced in the past does not have to be discarded for you to start over. You're starting with experience now. You're just applying it in a different way. I hope that's encouraging to you. So as you all are moving forward, oh, wait, hold on. I found some other things in the chat. It says, one thing I found helpful is to list experience in ChatGPT and ask what my transferable skills are. Awesome approach. And that brings me to bringing to your attention, again, the AI quick guide. There's another one that's in Career Milestone 2 that's called the gap analysis, where you are able to identify those elements of what you're trying to accomplish while also looking at what you already have accomplished and those experiences that you have, and then figure out what needs to be done to fill in those gaps. And that experience, right? That's those the measurable elements or the achievable parts where you're putting this action to your goals. You can include that in setting that goal as well. So know that we have resources. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to our career services. We are available to assist through a lot of these different processes. All right. So to wrap up, I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint slide, and I appreciate the flexibility as we navigate cyberspace together. Okay. Um, so now we have our SMART goal, right? And you're probably thinking about what should you do next? Like, what is your next steps? And how do you maintain momentum to stay motivated, stay focused? Remember to share your goals. Share your goals with someone. You can put it on LinkedIn. You can include it in your about section. You can write a journal. You can use the action planning workbook that we have in Career Milestone 2. You can print out the worksheet and make sure that you are seeing and making your goal visible to you so that you can make sure that you're staying focused. And when you do achieve these experiences, you're able to recognize them as milestones for your own goals. Okay. So stay focused, stay encouraged, and know that it's possible for you all to reach these goals. If you have any further questions, we do have a lot of events that are taking place during our career quest. Find some time to attend a drop in session. Those drop in sessions are hosted by career advisors. They are not recorded, so it is available to you all for to join, to ask us questions, and to get some real time feedback about the concerns that you all have. And once you have your career goal, move on to career milestone 2 and start putting this plan into action. All right. Well, that is all that I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for your time. I'll hang around for a few moments to answer any other questions. But at this time, I am so glad that you all joined us. Please take a moment to explore the resources that we have on our site and on our YouTube channel. You can also email us at careers@wgu.edu or give us a call at 1-877-214-7008 and choose option 3. You can also join any of our events that are hosted on Handshake or like us on Facebook. And if you can, take a moment to scan the QR code and give some feedback about your experience attending today's session. Once again, my name is Allison Townsend. It has been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you all today, and I look forward to speaking with you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.